Well, this is an absolute bombshell to start on Monday, and well, I knew it. I knew they were covering something up, and it looks like, at least according to new information and in my opinion, Thomas Matthew Crooks was also trans. And him and Tyler Robinson, the man who allegedly took the life of Charlie Kirk, also shared another interesting pastime. It's almost like this LGBTQ community, mostly just the T, maybe worth looking into, I'll say. Make sure you leave a like on this video because this is a crazy cover-up. Let's get into the story. By the way, huge shout out to everyone who's stocking up for Thanksgiving. I'll keep it quick. If you're hosting for Thanksgiving or you're going somewhere, bring a host gift or have one. If you only like K-Cups, I recommend our butterscotch toffee and blueberry cobbler. They're great dessert coffees. They both ship free next day. Also, if you like to bring ground, our spiked jack-o'-lantern and our blackberry cream, two excellent dessert coffees. And the spiked jack-o'-lantern's very on theme too, because people have pumpkin pie for Thanksgiving. Pick up a bag. I'll leave a link in the description. You can go to coffeebrandcoffee.com, but I'll leave a link, and it will be awesome because you can get other people hooked on our coffee. So just be my little coffee dealers. That would be the best Christmas gift ever. And also you get great coffee. Newly uncovered accounts tied to the Trump rally assassin, Thomas Matthew Crooks, reveal transgender ideology and a fetish for furries, and ties to a retired FBI agent. Literally, what? Oh, nobody's surprised? Nobody's surprised? What a coinky dink. What a coinky dink. This is from Miranda Devine over on the New York Post. We are all owed a better explanation from the FBI and Secret Service about the attempt on Donald Trump's life 16 months ago at a campaign rally in Butler, PA. The president himself remains unsatisfied with the answers he's been given about the circumstances that led to the 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks climbing on top of a rooftop and firing 8 times, narrowly missing Trump, and also, let's not forget, taking the life of Corey Compertor and wounding several others. But here's what the FBI hid. Crooks, of course, was taken out by a Secret Service sniper, but not before he took the life of Corey Compertor and seriously wounded David Dutch and James Copenhaver, who were sitting in the bleachers behind Trump. There's something very wrong with the official story that invites conspiracy theories. The president demanded answers months ago. A man lost his life. What's going on? The then director, Christopher Wray, told Congress on July 13, 2024, that of the attack, that the Bureau had not found anything online in terms of Thomas Matthew Crooks' history, and pointed to a motive or political ideology. But we now know that was not true. Tucker Carlson revealed that on Friday. I covered those messages. Very, very obviously unhinged messages from Thomas Matthew Crooks on YouTube. A week later, Ray's deputy Paul Abate told Congress that comments posted in one of Crooks' social media accounts appeared to reflect anti-Semitic and anti-immigration themes to espouse political attacks and are described as extreme in nature. Thanks to enterprising sources who uncovered Crooks' hidden digital footprint, we can see that he misled Congress by omission because he left out an entire section of Crooks' online interaction from January to August 2020 when he did an ideological backflip and went from rabidly pro-Trump to rabidly anti-Trump, and then went dark, never seeming to post again. Among 17 accounts uncovered by our source, ones were YouTube, Snapchat, Venmo, Zelle, GroupMe, Discord, Google Play, Quizlet, Chess.com, and Quora. The online interactions from then Crooks was age 15 to 17 give us a better understanding. Now, we talked about a lot of this stuff on Friday, so I will kind of gloss over a little bit. They said none of this online activity was referenced in the final congressional report released in December 2024, making this even more troubling. He left a digital trail of aggressive threats, extreme ideology, and an admiration for mass attacks. He spoke openly about taking out politicians under his real name and was even flagged by other users who mentioned law enforcement in their replies. Despite this, His account remained active for more than 5 years and was only removed the day after the assassination attempt. Starting with Crook's phone number, the source used tools available to private investigators and web to archives to uncover the assassin's very visible online persona. So we know about his political 180. We know about that, but I want to get to the trans ideology. Among 17 accounts uncovered by the source, here's one thing. When told of Crook's online threats, he said there was no way the FBI would not be aware of the teenager. No matter how ridiculous the claim, no matter if it's goof or not, someone is going to knock on someone's door, Swanson said. If they investigated that kid, there's a record of it. And there's an assessment that some leader made that he was not a threat, or that it rose to a level that they did something else. He also said, if the FBI had that information about his name on the PayPal account, I can't imagine they would not have reached out right away. Given Crook's pattern of tracking high-profile mass events and different attacks, the source believes that it is in fact plausible he adopted Swanson's name as a private joke. By the way, the Rod Swanson is actually a former senior FBI agent who was the chief of investigations for the state of Nevada during 2017 and during the Las Vegas shooting. He also previously served as FBI Director Robert Mueller's protective detail and as firearms instructor in Pennsylvania. I don't know anything about that kid or his family, he said. I don't even use PayPal. I don't even know how to set up a PayPal account. Wow, I'm glad that guy's ahead of the FBI. He retired from the FBI in Vegas in 2016, and he went to work for the Nevada Attorney General from 2015 to 2020. He now works in the oil and gas business. What a coincidence. So he has a connection to an FBI agent. Now, is it, is he making fun of Ron Swanson, the Parks and Rec guy, and he's just going by Rod Swanson, and it's like his prawn name? I don't know, but it does seem curious. It does seem odd that he was using his name. He was in Pennsylvania, and he was involved in another mass event. Like Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin, Crook also appears to have been interested in furries and exploring gender identity. He described himself with the pronouns they, them on the platform DeviantArt, which is one of the biggest online hubs for furry art and the furry community. The two accounts linked in Crook's primary email were found on DeviantArt under usernames Epic Microwave and The Epic Microwave. The account suggested he had an obsession with scantily clad cartoon characters sporting muscle-bound male bodies and female heads. One of the groups who interacted with him was Willie Tepes. We talked about that. They say that it's the same name of a neo-Nazi, but why hasn't the FBI shared any of this until it was leaked by insiders? Thomas Matthew Crooks used they, them pronouns according to newly uncovered accounts. People are acting like the pronouns are the headline, but they're missing the point completely. Whether Crooks used they, them doesn't explain the attack, the radicalization, the warning signs that were ignored. Well, it does probably explain it, in my opinion. And by the way, Charlie Kirk, the Charlie Kirk assassin, was dating a trans person. We'll find out about their particular pronouns and this, that, and the other thing. But he also had an account on a website that shared unusual, spicy content. Notably, Tyler Robinson allegedly fired a rifle from the top of another building, and he mentioned the furry subculture, fursonas. So they both were into furries. Tyler Robinson was at least dating a trans person. I don't think it's crazy to assume that he was obviously at least gay, but maybe he was also trans himself. And this is a direct link between Thomas Matthew Crooks and Tyler Robinson. Thomas Matthew Crooks went by they, them on DeviantArt. Linked accounts reveals that he had a fetish for furries. People who ask you to contact them when they could just as easily contact you are feds. This is how they avoid entrapment. Both American and Russian intelligence does this. I've chatted with both, the account says. Tepes is a member of the, we're going to the Willie Tepes person who told him to contact him. This did not tell the whole story of Crooks' views, as he reportedly went from being pro-Trump to anti-Trump ideologue during 2020. So the FBI covered this up. I am 100% convinced of that. Now, I don't know, but I know, right? Why wouldn't the FBI have said this? Why has Kash Patel, Donald Trump's close friend, said anything about this connection between Thomas Matthew Crooks and Tyler Robinson? Why hasn't he clarified for the record that Thomas Matthew Crooks was, in fact, into the trans ideology? Because that is actually what fits the trend. Benny Johnson creates the list. It has now been confirmed that the attempted Trump assassin, Thomas Crooks, used they, them pronouns. He had a deep interest in furries and was exploring gender identity. Added to the list, Charlie Kirk's assassin, Tyler Robinson, also had a furry obsession and lived with a trans boyfriend. The Annunciation Catholic Church person identified as trans. Nashville Christian lunatic, trans. Lakewood Church lunatic, trans. Colorado Springs, also non-binary. Denver lunatic was trans. Aberdeen, trans. Iowa high school lunatic, trans activist. Radical gender ideology is pushing unstable individuals towards attacks and targeting innocent people. I mean, why did they cover this up? Why did they cover this up? So he had some sort of connection to an FBI agent. We know that he was asked to contact this Willie Tepes individual, or he was interacting with Willie Tepes. And I can almost guarantee that he didn't actually sign off online. He just changed a username that we haven't yet connected. I'm sure he didn't just get off the internet. People don't do that. People don't just get off the internet. So there's going to be another connection here. We're going to find another account. The internet's going to find another account of Crooks, and I'm going to assume it's going to be would not be surprised if it's under a female name. You can see Thomas Matthew Crooks did grow his hair out. In his final image, he had long hair. It's totally possible that he was transitioning, that he was, a trans individual. We don't know, because the FBI, in my opinion, has lied to us. The FBI has covered the gender ideology connection and covered for some sort of connection with an FBI agent. Now, maybe he just changed his name and the FBI agent had no idea. But we do know the FBI agent was in Pennsylvania at one point. Maybe that isn't totally crazy. But this is very, very concerning. Make sure you keep it locked in here. Leave a like on the video, subscribe, follow. I'm sure we'll have more updates probably later today. Don't forget to pick up your coffee over on Coffee Brand Coffee for this Thanksgiving celebration. Even if you don't drink coffee, have some around, brew a pot. People will love it. They'll be like, oh, nobody ever thinks of that. So pick up your spiked jack-o'-lantern or your blackberry cream, or if you want K-cups, there's the butterscotch toffee or blueberry cobbler. Both delicious dessert K-cups. We'll talk to you again real soon.